Here is your latest African news. Africa-wide. Southern Africa should be thanked, not punished for detecting new variant, UN. South Africa should be thanked for detecting, sequencing, and reporting the new Omicron COVID-19 variant, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres says. Guterres added that he was deeply concerned about the isolation of Southern African countries, and the people of Africa cannot be blamed for the immorally low level of vaccinations available and should not be penalized for sharing health information with the world. Africa-wide. Hundreds of African Twitter accounts associated with #NoMore movement suspended. The anti-war #NoMore movement has been the top trending hashtag for weeks until Twitter suspended it this week. While Twitter has censored it in several countries, it remains the top trending African campaign on Twitter and other social media platforms. Organized by the Horn of Africa Hub and other pro-Ethiopian accounts, the #NoMore campaign was created by a coalition of Ethiopian and Eritrean activists. Its central objective is to oppose the ongoing Western media disinformation campaign, Western economic warfare, diplomatic propaganda, and military intervention in Africa in general, and the Horn of Africa in particular, but Twitter is now suspending accounts responsible for the hashtag. Twitter, whose CEO stepped down this week, is also accused of allegedly aiding a known terrorist group, the TPLF, by allowing false mass reporting of pro-Ethiopian accounts on the platform, leading to their suspensions. Many online are also accusing the platform for having pro-TPLF employees who are misusing their position to censor the pro-Ethiopian voices on the site. Also, TPLF hate speech against Ethiopians is rampant on the platform with zero consequences. Africa-wide. China's president promises Africa 1 billion COVID vaccine doses. President Xi Jinping said China would offer another 1 billion doses of COVID-19 vaccines to African countries and would encourage Chinese companies to invest no less than 10 billion in Africa across the next 3 years. The pledge of additional vaccine doses, on top of the nearly 200 million that China has already supplied to the continent, comes as concerns intensify about the spread of a new variant of the coronavirus known as Omicron. The Chinese leaders say that this country will donate 600 million doses directly. A further 400 million doses would come from other sources such as investments in production sites. Xi Jinping's promise comes as part of a forum between China and African states with an emphasis on trade and security among other issues, held in the city of Diamniadio near Senegal's seaside capital. Uganda. Rise in Uganda coffee exports earns $657 million. Uganda's coffee exports have continued to increase in both value and quantity despite a ravaging pandemic at the backdrop of adverse weather conditions and COVID-19 restrictions in the world's biggest exporters like Brazil and supply distribution around the world. Uganda Coffee Development Authority data shows that the country exported 6.5 million bags of coffee worth $657 million in the year to October 2021, compared with 5.41 million in the same period last year, earning $513 million. Next month, they project to export 500,000 bags as the main harvest season kicks off in the central and eastern parts of the country. The increase in export is attributed to government's efforts in 2012, which saw millions of seedlings distributed to farmers to grow new bushes across the 98 coffee-growing districts. Rwanda. Rwanda gets 30 white rhinos from South Africa. 30 white rhinos arrived in Rwanda from beyond Finda Game Reserve in South Africa as part of conservation efforts to repopulate the endangered species to the Akagera National Park. The rhinos, 19 females and 11 males, landed at the Kigali International Airport yesterday in what has been described as the largest single rhino translocation ever undertaken. In 2007, the rhino population in Akagera National Park had gone almost extinct due to poaching. The white and black rhinos population in Rwanda began being revived in 2017 when the country received the first batch of 17 rhinos from South Africa. In 2019, 5 more black rhinos were flown in from the Czech Republic. The current rhino population in Rwanda is 56. Once a poacher's paradise, the park has seen endangered species of rhinos, elephants, Cape buffaloes, lions, and leopards hunt and graze once again. Chad. Chad pardons members of armed groups ahead of national dialogue. Chad's ruling military council has granted a general amnesty to members of armed groups as one of its steps towards proposed national dialogue, the government spokesman said on Monday. The key rebel group concerned in the Front for Change and Concord in Chad, which claimed responsibility for the death of former President Idris Deby on the battlefield in April, after which his son seized power. The FACT has previously said it will be willing to take part in a national dialogue if the government launched peaceful initiatives. The junta had initially refused to negotiate with rebels before reversing course. A date for the dialogue has not yet been set. It was announced by Transitional President Mahamat Idris Deby earlier this year as a precursor to holding elections. Kenya and South Africa. Kenya, South Africa fast-track plans for a Pan-African airline. Kenya Airways and its South African counterpart SAA are fast-tracking the launch of an African airline alliance to support their recovery from deep losses and the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. The two African carriers this week advanced a cooperation agreement they entered into 2 months ago into a strategic partnership framework to jointly launch a Pan-African Airlines group by 2023. Signed under the gaze of President Uhuru Kenyatta and Cyril Ramaphosa during the 3-day state visit to South Africa by the Kenyan leader, the new partnership is expected to help both airlines improve their financial viability by leveraging their strategic strength through deeper coordination of passengers, cargo, operations, and pricing. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe, share, and like this video. It's the best way to help us reach our viewers. Also, visit our website tunacheki.tv for all the latest news updates. Also, don't forget to catch the return of our show, Africa in the News, on our channel. You can directly support this new series by becoming our YouTube member or becoming a Patreon. And remember, Africa is watching.